You know? Yeah, that's what I'm doing now, Charles. So what? The only reason I'm bringing it up now, Charles, is because the trolls and the haters bring it up. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have to bring it up at all. You realize that, right? Huh? You get that shit? Or are you too stupid to understand that? I wouldn't have to bring it up if the trolls and the haters weren't already bringing it up. Do you understand? I wouldn't have to mention it. Okay? The only reason I'm mentioning it is because assholes get on the fucking internet and bring it up. Right? Bam. See ya. Yeah, people show their true colors on the net, don't they? That is true. That is true. How many of you women have a husband who's a fucking hater or a fucking troll on the internet? And if he's going to abuse people on the internet, what's he going to do to you? What's he going to do to you? If he's abusing people on the internet, what's he going to do to you eventually? Think about that for a second. Think about that for a second. Folks, what we do in secret is who we really are. What we do in secret is who we really are. So if he's on the internet abusing people, what is he? Who is he? And is he going to do it to you? Maybe. Are you willing to take that chance? Are you willing to take that chance? Yes or no? It's a simple question. If he's on the internet abusing the fuck out of people, what's he going to eventually do to you? Think about that for a second. Think about that for a second. What we do in secret is who we really are, folks. That's who we really are. So think about that for a second. All right?
What's up, ladies and Gentiles, elephants and crocodiles? Boy, oh boy, let me tell you. I don't know about where you live, but it is mighty hot up here in the Great White North. I do apologize if there's some background noise. Can you guys hear? I got a fan going. I got the front doors open. It was fucking hotter than a horse teat here today. And I'm just too lazy to pull out the air conditioner and hook it up, but woo. You're going to hear fireworks. You're going to hear jets. I'll try my best to control it. But is the fan annoying? If it is, let me know. I'll shut it off. But for right now, I got it going. Folks, how you doing tonight? How you doing? Audio was great. Good. That's what I want to hear. Because you're going to want to hear this nice and clear tonight. I am so excited. I know I always pump things up. It's always a little bit tongue-in-cheek, Carnival Barker-esque. But tonight, listen, if you're new to the Von Helton scene, tonight you are going to have a chance to hear just a little piece of Von Helton history that has been buried in the vault. Folks, I've been sitting on this shit for 6 years. Let that sink in. 6 years. You know how I'm always saying, oh, I got to go through the vault. There's unreleased material. Oh, we got Skype calls. We got this. We got that. Well, tonight, you're going to get a taste of it. You're going to get a taste of it tonight. And I am so excited to share it with you because it is very relevant, folks. This is material. It is raw. It is candid. Some of it a little too graphic. Private Skype call with Von Helton. That has some very insightful information. Look, they say hindsight is 20/20. Looking back on this stuff, wow. Now, listen, I know this week, if you've been paying attention, there's been a lot of rumors, a lot of speculation, a lot of wait for it that I guess we're still waiting for. I'm not here to tell you that I have inside knowledge of any charges laid. I don't know of any property seized. I still implore you, hashtag drain Lake Alice. I think there's something to it. But that being said, I'm not aware of any hard drives being seized or additional charges being laid, any kind of assault. But there's been some interesting tells lately, folks, to say the least. I think that's definitely an understatement. We got everybody. I think we are witnessing one of the last sagas of Von Helton. This could be an ending coming up here soon. I sat on this footage. I was aware of it. I don't listen to it very often, but I knew it was sitting there. I was going through the vault. I was cleaning up some stuff, moving stuff around, moving stuff over from my old computer before the laptop. I found some Skype calls, and I ran this by a few people. I said, look, I previewed. I said, is this too much? Should we do this? The consensus was do it. Hear that coming in? Oh, yeah. Jesus Christ. What they're doing over the water tonight. But anyways, the show must go on. Folks, there's two reasons I am going to delay a little bit because, I don't want to give you dessert first. We want to get to the good stuff towards the end, but there's a couple reasons. One, obviously, I want lots of people here to see it. If you're here now, we got, 46, 50 people? Stay. You're going to want to stick around. I'm telling you. If you want to get a friend on the phone, you got someone who might want to see this. This is a very special moment when we have an opening of the vault like this, especially when it's like new old stock or old new stock, whatever they call it. You know, on pickers, when they're going through a barn and they find like a crate full of Harley Davidson goggles from like 1940 something, never touched. That's what this is. It's going to give you everything. It is scandalous. It's salacious with its details. Oh, and there's epic rage. Let me just say, there's a moment in it that rivals the "What Evil Did I Do" and "Goddamn Internet." You know how those are iconic? This is the new one. This is number 3. The question is, Von Helton, have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? Oh, there's going to be butthurt. There's going to be hell. You're going to feel the clench tonight. Folks, this is money, what we're putting out. You're going to want to stick around. The second reason I'm delaying is because you're going to want to make sure the kids are in bed. And you don't want to hear this shit. Because like I said, it's raw. You don't want them overhearing this. This is one Dragnot. If he can't make it tonight, if someone's got the in with Dragnot, listen, folks, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to do you all a favor. After we check this out and it does its rounds, I'm actually going to upload it to my main channel as a standalone video because this is shit that has to be archived. Nobody's got it. Nobody's heard it. In fact, the participants of this call have not even heard it in 6 years since the night it happened. Very excited. Very excited. Now, speaking of lost tapes, we're also going to look at the infamous lost tapes, the Humble Commode tapes. If you've been around, yes, we've seen that. We're going to breeze through that. For some people that are new, we're going to go through and I'm going to show you how this completely shatters Von Helton's Punisher claim. Video obtained of Von Helton from 1987, and it came down to the Pepsi bottle, and even contacting Pepsi to verify the font changed in the logo. Sorry, we're going to get to that as well. We got Revelation News channeling Jesus live on the spot. That's interesting. We got Emo Howling Wolf back. Emo Crying Wolf. And oh, he's raging. He's a little bit salty coming back from his trip, yelling at police officers and whatnot. So we're going to touch on that, but we're going to get, it's not a long one tonight, folks. I'm not doing this, I'm not being cruel to be kind. I'm not making you wait for your dessert. Like I said, this is one that deserves a big audience. So we're going to hold on just a little bit, but we're going to have some fun until we get there. I am tingling tonight to share this with you people because it is, like I said, this is a very special event. But first things first, enough gabbing here. We got much light going on. We gotta get ourselves a little fucking tasty taste. We got the lights off because it is that warm. It got really warm today. Probably should just dig out the air conditioner. And here comes another fucking plane over the water. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, right there. That's what we're doing. So I thought tonight we do it a little different. We're gonna do music a little different. We're gonna have a special musical number. If you're old school, you've heard this before. But if you're new, it's a treat. I gotta say I'm a big fan of the Audacity G-Man, but this is I don't know. I don't want to compare apples and oranges. This isn't quite up to that standard, but before there was Audacity, there was the Von Helton rap, folks. Hang on to your booties. Get your drink. Get your kids in bed. This is going to be a good one. Don't go anywhere.
I've got a message for all the scumbags, losers, killers, and haters of this world. Evil must be punished.
Von Helton, Von Helton, Von Hates the grace, the gays, evil ways. Illuminati's Von Helton, Von Helton, Von Helton, Von Helton hates gangsters and gangs, lizard eggs, and gangbang rapes. Everybody listen really close. Look at Von Helton about to make a toast. Do a video, tell us the status quo, and then it'll post, cause that's how it goes. That's how he rolls on this TV blog show. I know you dig the Von Helton flow. It's time to move like both of our posts. So baby, let's go. It's the Von Helton show. Von Helton, Von Helton, Von Helton, Von Helton hates the grace, the gays, evil ways. Illuminati's Von Helton, Von Helton, Von Helton, Von Helton hates gangsters and gangs, lizard eggs, and gangbang rapes. Tick-a-tack-tack, Von Helton is back. Back from the dead, he rose again, standing in the flesh, what you didn't expect. Please show some respect or get to the tech. Pressed up against your neck and you'll never forget one word that he said, or you're gonna regret that you didn't sit and ponder. Von said you don't wanna mess with these really big iguanas. Von Helton, Von Helton, Von Helton, Von Helton hates the grace, the gays, evil ways. Illuminati's Von Helton, Von Helton, Von Helton, Von Helton hates gangsters and gangs, lizard eggs, and gangbang rapes. Now it's verse 3, I'ma rip it up wrong. Don't mess with Bone or you're gonna be gone. He's not a bad guy, don't get on his bad side. He'll do Palpatine and make you join the dark side. He'll make you die, he'll bruise you right out. So now one side is a blur half the time. Run battle some demons who need to get some lives, cause all they do is fight a bunch of dead guys. You just know these guys from miles like flies, and the body odor is vile surprise. He dies all the time, that's how we realize he has a great future that'll benefit mankind. Von Helton, Von Helton, Von Helton, Von Helton hates the grace, the gays, evil ways. Illuminati's Von Helton, Von Helton, Von Helton, Von Helton hates gangsters and gangs, lizard eggs, and gangbang rapes.
All right, Salty Rant wants to talk shit. Well, I'm going to do some talking shit, okay? Monk Eye 83, while I was in Denver, told me the real story about why you were thrown out of the auditing community, what you did on the Mexican border when you whined like a little bitch. Everybody in Denver told me that you were no good. Not now, maybe later told me you were no good. Jeremiah told me you were no good. All the bags of dick people told me you were no good. I gave you a chance, and you fucked me over. So guess what, Salty? You will never be welcome on one of my panels. You will never be welcome in one of my live streams. You can go fuck yourself. Your phone number is blocked, so you can't even call me now, motherfucker. You know what? Kiss my fucking ass, okay? The guy deserved what he got. I defend it and I stand by it. I'm sick and tired of people telling me what I can say and what I can't say on this fucking channel. So you know what? You don't like me, Salty? Hit the fucking door and get the fuck out. Don't make me come to California and hit you in the fucking face. Do you understand me? Because I'll bash your fucking teeth out. Don't think I won't.
So in case you missed it, folks, Emo quit the internet. And like most cows that quit the internet, they always come back. They always come back for a milk. And so I'm not an emo expert. You're going to have to ask somebody like maybe Grampy or, Gary Snowflake, somebody like that. But as I was kind of keeping track, he had a big sad because everyone abandoned him and everybody left him. He wasn't making any money. And he really, really wanted to go join the protests. Now, we know that he's not joining the protest, because of what the protests are about, because he's unapologetically racist. But he wanted his chance to go yell at cops. He's one of these, what they call a First Amendment auditor. And he was just so sad that he didn't have the money to go out and meet his heroes, Eric and Liberty Freak and Ghost Rider or whatever, all these idiots name, these sovereign men on the land. But basically, his quote-unquote panels, he always talks about these fucking panels that they host, they were basically down to emo crying, that dried old fucking Christmas turkey cunt fucking lady die, some other dude, and then the salty guy who's just as fucked up as them. Well, apparently, when Emo was showing video of his little fucking trip to Colorado, there was a scene involving a couple dudes in a Mustang. Emo said something that Salty didn't like. Salty unsubbed him, and that led to hilarity, a series of raging videos like this. And that's where we're at. Now, Emo has made a series of these videos at people. I don't know who they are. I don't care who they are. And I see that he had a sad little live hangout on StreamYard. Now, it's funny because his whole thing, he keeps talking about StreamYard like it's, unless it's you pay for it, you can't use it, even though he's streaming. Said his time was running out before, but then he managed to stream, and he's talking about how hard it is. He doesn't understand that you can actually use StreamYard for free, or he just thinks everyone else is stupid and he's bumming money. I did open the Heine Quasi. I did it on camera, but I just drank it. Golly. Look. It's right here. We opened it. We sipped it. We enjoyed it. We savored it before the Von Helton rap. Yeah, but poor old Emo. He's having a hard time. Life's tough when you live in a diaper, folks. Anyways, let's hear what he's got to say to his buddy Salty, who was like one of his best friends a week ago.
Matter of fact, why don't you get on a fucking plane and come to my fucking door? I'll do it right here in my fucking yard. The guy fucked with the protesters 4 times.
Oh, what's really funny, the video I was going to show was his first video to this Salty guy where he actually made like diagrams of this incident that happened at the bar, the alley, the street, the food cart. The guy in the Mustang drove by. They all said shit. Altercations happened. And then he freaked out. But then he put this one out, and I was like, fuck it, I'll just skip to this one. But that's just some context, so you know what the hell he's talking about, some guy in a car. Oh, this is fair use, by the way, YouTube. I'm just commenting. We're just here for the show.
He got what he deserved, okay?
And it still bothers me he has bottom teeth but no top teeth. I don't know, just it's fucking ugh.
I didn't even watch your last video. Yeah, I put a comment on it, but you know what? Fuck you! Nobody's gonna get me off of YouTube. Nobody's gonna say what I'm gonna say and what I can't say in a live stream. It's called freedom of speech, motherfuckers. It was a stereotype.
But it's freedom of speech, but if you criticize him, he'll flag your fucking channel. Sure as shit.
Using sports cars and souped up things make up for little man's dicks. Okay? Just like a blonde is usually a fucking stupid broad. What do you think all the dumb bitches in horror movies are all dumb blondes? Because it's a stereotype. What about the gays? Oh, supposedly the gays love shopping and love the opera. Oh, you know, that's a gay stereotype. Which I don't watch opera and I don't go do a lot of shopping.
He just wears diaper. He's just a diaper wearing hobbit. Yeah, he's just it's a countdown to a fucking cardiac arrest on camera here, folks. That's what we're really holding out for.
A redheaded woman is usually a nasty, vicious woman, a vindictive woman. A redheaded woman is a vindictive woman.
Yeah, he just doesn't get how stereotypes. Anyways.
They're all stereotypes. I stand by what I said. You are permaban. There is nothing wrong with my behavior. Goddamn ghetto!
Yeah, we got cows beating their fucking forehead with webcams. We got him beating his webcam. Oh, it's a crazy old world. It's a landscape out there, let me tell you. Welcome to the weirdo wonderland.
Nothing! And this is me slapping your fucking face in!
Okay, I think we've had enough of that. Jesus Christ. High octane, emo. Fuck. I think we better do a little checkup. I think this should be a regular segment on the show. I'm worried about this fucking guy. Give me a sec. Pardon me, folks. Don't mean to be rude. Where is he here? Got him on speed dial. Give him a call.
The Google subscriber you have called is not available. Please leave a message after the tone.
Hey there, emo buddy. I'm just checking in on you. Just want to make sure everything's good. You seem pretty upset. We're kind of concerned over here. We're watching you, and we're looking at you. Man, oh man, you're on a one-way. We're concerned. People in the chat are mentioning you're on a one-way street here, my friend. It's inevitable. There's going to be cardiac arrest. Right live, you're going to keel over. Listen, we don't want that. We want you to have a fun summer. Just relax. You just came back from your trip. You should be happy. You seem very upset. You seem very tense. You're beating your fucking webcam. I'm afraid you're suffering from Lowell's madness. That's what the situation is, as far as I can see here. But anyways, I don't want to make this too long of a message. It's been a while. I wanted to check in on you. Make sure everything's good. Oh, and consider taking that strike off my account, bud. Thanks. Well, I'll check in later after the show. Bye. I worry about that crazy little fucker. Yeah. Life's too short, folks. Folks, if you're just getting to the show, you're going to want to stick around. We got humdinger. I know I say that all the time, but tonight, just once again, we're going to be featuring new found footage. Never released, been sitting in the vault for 6 years. It's candid, it's raw. My God. I don't even know what to say.
Stop all of those people from coming and raping and murdering and killing you and giving you fucking AIDS.
Secular's revenge. Can you say Von Helton, moo, 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 you lolsy lols cow. I'm a milk your teats. It's coming, folks. Oh, there's going to be, listen, if I'm listen, I think I got a pretty good track record here, folks. I think if I'm saying that this is a big deal, it's a big deal. Like I said, I previewed what I got coming tonight with a few different people. And they're like, this is money. You got to put this shit out, especially now with everything going on with Von Helton. Let's not waste any time. Let's move ahead. I hear a jet coming. Let's move on to Rev.
Jesus bless you. I just heard from the Lord, literally. Like, it's been a while since I really just, boom, like a message, a download. Jonathan Kleck would call it a download. So I'll say, thus saith the Lord, because it was so clear to me. It was like, yeah. So it's, thus saith the Lord to the President of the United States. You have had great sin in your life, and you know it. Thus saith the Lord that your mantle has departed. You had a holy mantle put on you, and you felt it in that black church. They laid hands on you and anointed you like a king of Israel for the United States. And thus saith the Lord, your time in the beginning was of great fat and great plenty, but you will not repent. You have taken another mantle that is not of me, thus saith the Lord, and now all your sin will be revealed. Because what the Lord told me, folks, is that the Lord Jesus had taken that man and cleansed him. And what you saw in the first beginning of his presidency, this amazing country that just bloomed, and it make America great again, an actual amazing slogan that means something. That man, and it was on a day, I could tell you the day.
He's going to get to the day. I guess Jesus didn't see it coming when he ordained him. Yes, that pair. I don't know. Is that a new towel beside him, or is that like just one of Shanny's feed cloths? Do they just tuck that in somewhere? Is that what they do? I don't know. I'm not a feeder. I don't know how that works. But yeah, apparently his third eye gets opened on the toilet as well, like Von Helton's, and he gets messages from Jesus. Wait for it. He gets one as he sits here live. Yes, Dragnot, I put out the word. This is one I think you're gonna enjoy this one tonight. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
It's June 1st. He fell. Literally, he fell. Donald John Trump. And now the Lord, because the man has decided this path, taken the Bible and satanically, the way he held it was so weird. And people are like, why did he do that even? And he said, oh, the believers love it. They thought it was a fantastic photo op. Beautiful. They love it. I have not heard one Christian say that they loved what he did in front of that church. He oddly held the Bible and flipped it upside down and then right side up. It was so weird. As above, so below. That's the day that I believe. And lightning hit the penis of Osiris in Washington. The Washington Monument. The penis of Osiris. That's what it is, folks. It's a Masonic penis of Osiris. It's not this awesome memorial to Washington, which is sick in itself because it's do you know what they call it?
The question is, does the monument have floppage? Is there slackage? Do we have slack? That's the important question, right?
There is a painting on the inside of the Capitol building, and do you know what they call it? They call it the apotheosis of George Washington. Do you know what that is? The apotheosis of George Washington? Do you know what that is? It's the gods in heaven making George Washington, when he passed, a god. It's Egyptian. It's all Egyptian Freemasonry. Who's Egyptian Freemasonry? Oh my God, it's Crowley. Yeah, your leaders are a bunch of Crowleyites. Do you realize that? You want some Revelation news? There's your Revelation news. Your leaders are Crowleyites. They thought Crowley was a great guy. They think Crowley is a good guy. Holy shit, folks, wake up.
Yeah, Reva is just another truther with his finger on the pulse, folks, because this isn't, totally 2012 conspiracy nut shit. All the floppage belongs to Rev's not so average dick. Nice, I love it. I love it.
Thus saith the Lord God Almighty, Donald John Trump had the mantle of Yeshua. He had the mantle of the King of Kings. And if he kept that crown on, oh my God, it just all lines up. I had a vision on that same day of Christ putting his crown on. It was the same day. Trump had a mantle. It's back at Jesus's head again. He put his crown back on.
Yeah, because again, I guess Jesus didn't see it coming, right? We made another mistake. A lot of regret for an all-knowing God. I mean, I'm not trying to make this religious, folks. I'm just saying. It just seems kind of funny. But in case you haven't been keeping up, Rev and Shanny have been disillusioned. They're not Trump tards anymore. They're just their own kind of tard, I guess.
Oh my God, thank you, Lord. He just, that's a download, folks. And then talking to you, I get more of it. See?
Got more of it.
Wow. Anointed King Cyrus. Why do these kings have to turn out to be such evil bastards? And it's always the same types, man. It's the cult of personality Hitler type. Because guess what? This is stuff you'll never hear anywhere anymore because it's so controversial. But because they take my channels anyway, I'm totally blacklisted and shadow banned everywhere. It's like it's like my identity is blacklisted. But you won't hear this type of stuff. Do you want to hear something about Hitler? And I hate to tell you this. Okay, you make demons out of everybody. But Hitler was a patriot. Okay? In his mind, he was making Germany great again. And it wasn't the final solution in the beginning, folks. There was no talk of slaughtering Jews or any of that. Did he want them out or less Jews in Germany? Let's pay for them to go back to their country, Israel, which wasn't technically in existence yet. The UN mandate really hadn't come yet. But here's the thing. They still had a place over there that they liked, that they wanted to go because they knew it was their land. So Hitler's like, our economy's suffering. It seems like the Jews get all of our money. And as a patriotic German, he was saying, let's not have this anymore because it's our country. And Trump did that with the Mexicans. Get it? With the wall. Let's build the beautiful wall because there's too many immigrants coming over illegally, right?
Now, remember, what he's talking about, he supported and still does because he just said it was June 1st. Like, it hasn't been to the last couple of weeks that they've turned on Trump. And it's more because Trump isn't Trump enough for them anymore, really, is what it is. But all this shit, and it's funny because I always say this, the scales are removed from their eyes, right? Oh, this stuff, it's like the way Hitler treated the Jews was almost the same way that Trump treated those Mexican children. Back when you supported it, when you were 100% Trump. Just saying.
Right? It's the same thing Hitler did. And he's starting to build that wall. But here's the thing. I'm not saying Trump's Hitler. What I'm saying is that
that wall's not getting built, folks. It's not.
The cult of personality type of individual, which Trump is definitely. He's a narcissist. Everything he does to him is like the greatest. It's a perfect conversation that he had with the guy from Ukraine. It's perfect. It's not just a good conversation that he had. It was perfect. Okay? He's a narcissist. The point is that he had a mantle, and he made it line up with my vision of Christ putting his crown on perfectly. There was a mantle of a holy king. It's gone now. And it happened June 1st. And the penis of Osiris was...
So remember, everything up to June 1st is actually okay, so I don't even know why he's complaining about it anymore. But it was because he doesn't have a mantle anymore. He got an upload from Jesus.
Struck by lightning. You got to repent.
Oh, and the penis. Remember the big phallic fucking statue got struck by lightning. That's a sign. Folks, it's coming. If you're coming to the room, don't leave. I see those numbers going up and down. Unless you're going to call someone or put those kids back to bed, it's coming. We're moving through these videos quick. You're going to want this. You're going to want to see this. Anyways, let's keep going.
And come to Jesus. Shalom.
Wow, look at that.
So we're going to check in quick on Lori McBride. Or sorry, not Lori McBride. Definitely not Lori McBride. She's the devil, apparently. Apparently, she's responsible for bombing George Floyd and letting bombs go back in May over Florida. You remember Gail? She had some longer videos. I just grabbed this one she put out like a week or two ago. But let's see what she's got to say. Apparently, Lori McBride is behind the death of George Floyd. We're not going to watch the whole video. We're going to skim through it.
What in the world is Lori McBride doing? That is an interesting interesting cloud formation. Wow.
I think all the police officers involved in the horrendous murder of Mr. Floyd should get first-degree murder, along with charges of conspiracy to murder and terrorize. Been listening to Fox News, and they say premeditated intent to murder cannot be proved, and it seemed more like a spur-of-the-moment decision, and so first-degree murder is not justified. I disagree. I think all the police at Mr. Floyd's murder site, all 4 of them, are Laurie McBride Jesuits who staged this whole thing. Funny how they kept on murdering him, even knowing they were being filmed, in order to divide the country and take down Trump. Trump hasn't been perfect as a president, and I'm not even sure I'll vote for him. But then it doesn't really matter because I'm on the ballot. The point is, no one has any right to stage a murder in order to orchestrate a political coup, which I believe was the true motive for the murder of Mr. Floyd. It's all blamed on racism, but the problem is just deep political corruption using racism as the distraction to orchestrate a crime with political objectives. But if you're worried about racism, nobody is more racist than a Laurie McBride Jesuit. Laurie McBride has a super superiority complex and thinks anybody who's not willingly and knowingly her obedient slave deserves to die. She thinks all Laurie McBride Jesuits are the superior race and everybody else is garbage. Laurie talks and writes like a neoliberal Democrat, but in her heart, she's a very racist, very arrogant, very violent fascist and communist, and embraces all those with violent and murderous fascist and communist hearts in all political parties.
Now, if you're not familiar with Gail, I mean, it's too much for me to get into. We've covered her many times. But if you don't know who the hell Laurie McBride is, she, I believe, is the wife of Brent. Is it Brent Spiner? Is that how you say his name? The guy who plays Data on Star Trek. Because apparently she's married to the real Data from Star Trek. And the one we see is a clone that's been put up by the Jesuits. And Laurie McBride is the Antichrist. And yeah, it gets just crazier from there, folks. Let's listen to a little bit more and then we're going to move on.
I think all 4 of the police.
By the way, our other favorite cuckoo on the internet's been pretty quiet, Tila. I'm going to have to do a little update on that here soon, but she's been pretty quiet on the internet. Anyways.
Involved in Mr. Floyd's murder woke up the morning of his murder knowing they would murder Mr. Floyd and knowing they would be filmed and knowing the footage would be aired on worldwide television. That's conspiracy to...
Yes, pardon me, Data. Sorry for the Star Trek fucking nerds out there. Whatever.
Murder in order to rig an election, which is a more serious charge than first-degree murder because it involves the welfare of the country. They are all willing and knowing Laurie McBride Jesuits and deserve the death penalty. If I'm right, I'd give them, along with all willing and knowing Laurie McBride Jesuits, a public execution on Gabriel Chana Fox News. Show the evidence. We have mind and emotion reading technology that they did this willingly and knowingly to assist Laurie McBride's attempted coup or takeover of the United States in order to rig an election, and then give them all a public execution on Gabriel Chana Fox News. If that doesn't satisfy the rioters, then nothing will except an illegal coup takeover of the United States. Another technology we have is we can get memory reads on people too, unless the Laurie McBride Jesuits have erased their memories. However, if the memories have been erased, that is strong circumstantial evidence that I'm right, that all these police involved in Mr. Floyd's murder are Laurie McBride Jesuits along with the violent rioters. The best way to get justice for George Floyd is to defeat the Laurie McBride Jesuits, who have infiltrated all political parties except the Gabriel Chana Independent Political Party. Because under my conspiracy law, willing and knowing Laurie McBride Jesuits are war criminals and cannot vote in a conspiracy law honoring nation. Neither side, the left or the right, is completely right in what's happening right now. So I'm posting from both the left and the right. But I have to agree with Trump that Antifa is a terrorist organization because they're mostly Laurie McBride Jesuits. Also, I tend to distrust any news sources that in the past have bought into the Russiagate garbage. One way to tell who's honest in news reporting is by how they handle Vladimir Putin. If they try to blame Russia for America's elections and America's problems, you know never to trust that news source as reliable. I understand Vladimir Putin better than just about anybody who reads this or who's listening to me. And the stuff that most Western news says about him is total garbage. He's just a Russian leader who's doing his job, and he opposes Laurie McBride Jesuits as much as I do. That's why Laurie's Western news attacks him so much. Also, you must understand that Vladimir Putin is against the deep state. That's the Laurie McBride Jesuits. So if you don't understand that, you don't understand anything at all. Because not everyone has had the privilege to have a relationship with a major world leader as I have, I tend to show a lot of tolerance to those who disagree with me, and I always admire anyone who appears sincere in their passion, even if we disagree. I think our world is an interesting place when everyone has the freedom to follow their own conscience and are true to their conscience. To respect a diversity of opinion, I may just pull back and let the bricks fly while I pray for our country. However, let us all show respect for those who differ from us and realize that you may not be seeing all the pieces of the puzzle due to Laurie McBride's control over the mainstream media and her ability to use clones to impersonate people. Let's drop name calling. Let's act like ladies and gentlemen and give everyone the freedom to follow their own conscience. The best way to get people to adopt your viewpoint is to share intelligent, well thought out posts on Facebook and online. Avoid posts that go into sensationalism and only appeal to emotions rather than a person's brain.
Okay. Anyways, let's get into this, folks. Enough of this pussyfooting around. Listen, it's coming. It's coming. What do I got next? I think I know what I got next. I think we're going to get right into this. Let's get into a little backstory here.
So in your jobs that you've had.
Oh, shoot. Didn't mean to do that. So I thought, let's have a little fun. Here's a classic. It's only a few minutes long. If I can get it back up again here. It's actually a shame this only has a couple hundred views. This is the Hangout. Let's get it loose. Let's get it worked in. This is one of my favorites that doesn't get played very often. This is the Hangout where they read Von Helton's Encyclopedia Dramatica. Oh, I'm just going to let it play.
So in your jobs that you've had, I just want to make sure, you were never in Kylene, Texas, and if you were, you didn't say that you broke up a pimp's operation? Or
that much is true, yes, that much is true. And in fact, I was even working with local law enforcement in that fact.
It's the one underneath that. It says, you said that your balls were exposed to depleted uranium.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I served in the U.S. Army as a tanker, and the Sabo round is a round made out of depleted uranium.
Yeah.
Somebody directed me to something called Encyclopedia Dramatica.
Right, it's a hate website. It's designed to look like a Wikipedia page.
How about DJ including one of the first rap concerts?
Now, that is true.
Amateur?
Yes.
Cryptozoologist.
Yes. Amateur.
Died and came back to life not once but twice.
Actually, more than twice. It was created by a troll and a hater, and it is for trolls and haters to hate on various people that they don't like.
It says you're literally the Punisher. I
did work for the government that could be construed as something similar to what the Punisher did. That's all.
We're a ninja.
I am a real, live, living, breathing fucking ninja. For real. I'm not going to reveal what other things I'm doing because somebody else will get out there and beat me to the punch. No, I will not.
That's why I'm confused about the stealth aircraft. Is that the first stealth technology was begun by the Germans, the Horton
I'm
HM2.
well aware of Professor Horton and his flying wing. I am very well aware of it. I am also well aware of the one. I'm also well aware of the variations that what's the millionaire mogul? He did the Spruce Goose. Mr. Hughes.
So you invented the stealth fighter in what year then?
No, I didn't invent a stealth fighter. You keep misquoting.
Oh, I see. Okay, your
I
first
invented
design.
no. I invented a space and atmospheric superiority fighter.
Right.
I designed it. I did the hydraulics and I did the engines.
When was
not
this?
do the rest of it.
What you invented an ion drive?
No, I did not invent the ion drive. The ion drive already existed. I can't invent something if it already exists.
Okay, I'm just asking. There's some ridiculous stuff written about you, obviously. I mean, it says that you once used the Force from Star Wars on a groundhog.
I did, actually.
There's some ridiculous claims they've made about you that you supposedly heal people, control the weather, and raise the dead.
Yeah, well.
It says Von Helton also claims to be able to summon angels. They've obviously combined these things with some stuff that is true, as you said. You know, you are a ninja. And,
it's half truths and lies. That's all it is hate site. They've been taken down more times than I have underwear. Okay?
So what's the Punisher actually based on you, do you think?
I don't know if Kirby came out with the idea of the Punisher before me or after me. But one thing is for sure, he got the idea from somewhere.
You have a page that is longer than...
Yes, I have legions of haters out there. They called CPS and tried to get my kids taken away from me. They've tried to have me killed. They've tried to get the CIA after me. They've tried to get the FBI after me. They've tried to get the local police and the state police after me. All of which has failed, of course.
Had quite an eventful life then.
I've had a very rich and full life, yes.
Oh, a classic for sure. All right, let's get into this. Let's move ahead here, folks. We're getting closer to the main event. I'm getting goosebumps.
What is up, YouTube? We are back at it with another video. We are cooking with Cobra. We have a featured guest, cameraman Darflini.
What the fuck is up, YouTube?
Yeah. And as part of an agreement, I'm like, let's get this big ass steak on the pan and I'll split it with them, see how it do. I never cooked steak before, but if it turns out good, I might keep it as a recipe. Monster and the Troll Slayer Goblet. Now we're talking.
Hell yeah.
Here's all that grease from the burgers we've been cooking. So I'm gonna go ahead and medium heat that bitch. Choice steaks, baby. I'm gonna mash up these garlic cloves and add some seasoning to it. Subscribe for more content, yo. Subscribe to Darflini's channel, my channel. Greatly appreciated.
It gonna be good.
Yeah, buddy.
Good night, baby Jane. But let me tell you, when you get up tomorrow, you're going to want to watch the end of this hangout. I'm telling you, you're going to want to come back and watch the end of this hangout. Folks, if you can stick in there, we're almost there. We're going to get there. Watch Cobra boil a steak in beer and a pound of butter.
What technique are you using?
The pinch and pull. Pinch, pull, twist. Yep.
The twist might hurt. I can't believe it. He made a masturbating joke. Kind of looks like a baby banana.
There it do, yeah. This big old chunk of butter right here, we're just going to go ahead and melt it down in there.
Bone suckling sauce.
Yeah, buddy.
That could be taken sexual. I got some bone suckling sauce for you.
Yeah, buddy.
How thick is that? About inch.
Yeah.
It got the 1 inch girth.
All right, so we'll slap on some of that garlic, slap on some of that bone sucking. Yep. I'm gonna poke it with a fork.
Get it all good and forked. Jokes brought to you by immature adults.
Pretty much. Seasonings around right there, just like that. Beautiful. Get it. Got it. Good. Boil it on the top. Throw a little bit in the pan. Oh. Cheers.
Cheers. Chug.
Mm. It actually doesn't smell that bad. I'm not gonna lie.
There is one sad part about using alcohol as a cooking ingredient.
Yeah, it cooks out the buzz. But looky what I got here. Steak, cooking, monster and beer. Yeah, show that logo. Not a sponsor. Beautiful.
Oh, party foul.
Sorry about that. Some for the homies. Perfect. Because what that's going to do is that butter is just going to melt on top or underneath the steak there.
Vagina steak.
Giggity, giggity. Oh, that's horrible, dude. Yeah.
So since that just kind of popped up, does that mean that pussy is popped? God damn it, the beaver's dead.
Yes. For my first time cooking steak, it doesn't look too bad. So hopefully it's good.
No, not at all.
Be nice and caffeinated it up.
Sometimes you just gotta do what you do, and sometimes that doing needs some do to go with the do.
Yeah, buddy, you know what's up.
You know how I do? Cup down! Cup down!
That happens to the best of us. Oh well. No sense in bitching about it.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah. All right.
I could be a better cameraman if the camera doesn't float away.
Oh shit, my bad. There you go. Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Fucking sweet. The butter just made it so freaking tender. Oh. And that's how you Mountain Dew it. Oh, excuse me. So YouTube, I guess that's how I cook steaks. Not too shabby, dude. That beer and that butter made it so fucking tender after I poked the holes in it before cooking it. Anyways, tubes, catch you on the next one. Subscribe for more.
I am quite a lover of steak. I gotta say that was a nice looking steak before he boiled it in beer and a pound of fucking butter. Oh, Cobes, that's a mild one. That's a mild one for Cobes if you're not familiar with him. Yeah, let's move right along.
You are labeling me as racist, sir, and I'm not racist.
Whoops. Oh, yeah. I got a little special treat from the vault, too. Speaking of little treats, this is all from here on in. It's treats, folks. It's all we got past the main course. We got the steak into us. It's time for a little dessert. Now, we've all heard Von Helton's racist rant. And by the way, I had posted, it appeared that this was trending over on Twitter, actually, a day or two ago. But that's besides the point. That's a different story. I'm just going to play the highlight of his racist rant because what I found while going through the vault is the video that he made right after the racist rant, where he's based. Okay, a little bit of context. The Wolf Club or whatever the fuck they were, that little gang that they had, the little hangout, where he had his spaz out and started yelling about the black people in Cincinnati. You see, that group had already shunned Brett Keane. Brett Keane had already done his circle there, showed his true colors, caused drama, got separated. And he told Von Helton, they'll turn on you too. So this is Von Helton. We're going to recap the racist rant, and then we're going to watch the Wolf Pack. That's it. And we're actually going to watch Von Helton, through a video, kiss Brett Keene's ass. Try to get back in with him. So, folks, this is not for the faint of heart. You probably know what's coming. We'll see. Tonight could get flagged. I'm surprised we went this long tonight on YouTube. Thank you, YouTube. This is going to be a doozy. The best is yet to come, folks. Don't go anywhere.
So in your jobs that you've had,
Oh, shit. That ain't what we want.
What is YouTube?
You are labeling me as
Here we go.
racist, sir, and I'm not racist. Telling somebody to grow the fuck up doesn't matter what color their goddamn skin is. But when I'm on the street and I see
Ryan, you made it obvious you were talking about black people.
fucking white,
Black people have a lot of growing up.
making jokes about it, I think I ought to speak out. I think I ought to not be silenced. And when I see that shit going on with my own goddamn eyes, and then nobody wants to talk about it, nobody wants to say it, because
You need to
they're
calm
fucking
down,
black,
for
then that
one.
pisses me off. That's called counter racism or opposite racism, and it's just as fucking wrong as regular racism.
You need
in my
to
humble
calm
opinion.
down, dude.
And I'm tired of seeing white folks getting talked to like dogs, which I've seen it happen with my own eyes, and it happens in Cincinnati, Ohio. They fucking run the streets like goddamn wild dogs, running with this fucking gangbanger shit and this fucking other bullshit. And nobody wants to say jack squat, sitting there using their own fucking nigger word, and but if a white person or an Indian like myself or somebody else says it, oh, it's the worst thing in the world. Well, fuck you.
Shouldn't say
When
it.
the nigger stops using the N word, I'll stop using it, goddammit. And that doesn't make me racist. So fuck y'all.
Well, damn, Brett. You won the bet. Son of a bitch. You know, I was actually hoping to pwn your ass this time, but you won the bet, by God. So I guess I owe you some money. Let's get into it. I've got a message for all the scumbags, losers, killers, and haters of this world. Evil must be punished.
I say, the way you look at me, so condescending, aren't we? The fault that we deserve is to burn. What a scary thought it is. Oh.
Well, Brett, a while back you made the claim that within a year, the people in the hangout would basically find some way to get at me and false accuse me and all this good shit, and that they weren't to be trusted, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And by God, you were right, Brett. I guess I owe you $5. Oh well, just tell me where your PayPal is and I'll send it to you. But you know what? They tried a whole bunch of shit before they finally got me, though. I mean, they tried to get me on Islam, and that didn't work because Muslims are killing people all over the goddamn place. I just saw in the paper on the internet just the other day where 71 Christians were slaughtered by Muslims. And before that, a bunch of Christian churches were burned down by Muslims in Egypt. So the 71 Christians that were killed in Nigeria.
make that clear. But yeah, so they can't get me on the Muslim thing. And so that failed. And so then they brought in this 20-year-old girl, and I have nothing against her, but, you know, they brought her in, I guess, in the hopes that I would take an interest in her, and then they can play their little Kelly video thing. And, oh, look at Von Helton's going after this girl, and she said she was 20, but she's actually 17 or 16, you know, bam, another Kelly video. Well, I didn't take the bait on that one either. And so they're kind of butthurt about that one. Well, shit, he didn't, you know, we can't get him on Islam, and he didn't take the bait on our latest Kelly thing. So what the hell are we going to do? We'll start a topic about racism. And of course, unfortunately for me, I took the bait, and I explained that, you know, inner city blacks in Cincinnati, you know, I've seen with my own eyes where, you know, they talk shit about white folk all the time. And, you know, even in some cases, go out and just gut a white person if they didn't like him, just for the hell of it, just for laughs, you know.
So remember, he just said he witnessed this with his own eyes in the mean streets of Cincinnati. He saw them talking shit about white people all the time, and even just for laughs, gut a person. He witnessed this, folks. He lived in Hamilton, Ohio. Just saying.
But because I pointed that shit out, they twisted what I said and said I made a, quote, racist comment, unquote. Okay, well, the problem with that is that only racists make a racist comment.
He can't be racist because he's Indian. See how that works, folks? I think the racist, well, there's a lot of racist stuff in there, but I think the icing on the cake was probably dropping the N-bomb a couple times. But hey, anyways.
So they were basically saying that I was a racist because non-racists don't make racist comments, folks. Okay, that's how we roll here. Okay, only racists make racist comments. Okay, and so every one of them, to a person, was jumping my ass and saying that I had made a racist comment. And when I retorted that no, I did not make a racist comment, that I was merely talking about my personal experience in Cincinnati, oh, that was totally no. You were speaking about all blacks, Von Helton. No, I wasn't either. I was only talking about a specific targeted group of individuals that I myself had personally witnessed on the streets of Cincinnati. But that wasn't good enough. They had to make it into this big hullabaloo. And so, Brett, you were right. You were right. They attacked me. They finally found something to attack me on and get all bent out of shape over and try to make a big deal out of it, to try and get people to you know, unfriend me, unsubscribe me, whatever it was. And you were also right, because I remember you also said that they would be joining up with my haters. I found that out to be true because I found a hangout with Secular Opinion and his buddies where the Wolfpack went and joined their hangout and all had a good laugh at my expense, of course. So you were right on both counts, Brett. And man, you know, I actually wanted to pwn you on this shit. I really did. I was hoping that by the end of the year they would not have done such a thing, but I had. What can I say? You were right. I was wrong, dude. So I'll get your $5 to you as soon as I can. I got to put it on my PayPal and all that good shit. You know, put some money on my PayPal. As soon as I get that, I'll ship it out to you and you'll get your $5. All right, that's it. That's all I got to say. Y'all have a pleasant day and better tomorrow. See ya. Bye.
So it was all a big misunderstanding, folks. None of that was actually racist. He was just baited into it. And he was just talking about his personal experience on the mean streets of Cincinnati where he saw black people gut white people just for fun. Right on the street. Dumped their guts out right on the floor. Yeah, it's been a long haul with Von Helton, let me tell you, but what really got under Von Helton's craw, what his big thing against me, put everything aside, I mean, he's blamed me for being involved in everything that's bad in his life since 1978. The reality is it's because someone, now he always says that I went and found people that he lived with and all that. That's not true. What happened was someone reached out to me, someone that knew Von Helton back in the day, and gave me VHS tapes of them all hanging out when he was supposedly the Punisher. This video, and I'm sure most of you have seen it, but we're just going to review exactly what went down there's a theme here, folks, and we'll get to it here in a minute. The video completely smashes the Punisher myth. And he hates it. Now, he claims, Von Helton, and I heard him mention this the other night, so this is fitting, that video is from 1977, and we proved that it was not. Now, I had some help on that back in the day, but we proved it came down to the Pepsi bottle on the table and contacting Pepsi to get verification when they actually changed the font. We're going to get to that, folks. I'm pretty sure I might be talking on my ass here because I'm not even sure if it's the next video, but if it isn't, we're going to it. The Humble Commode. So this is The Punisher, 1987, circa 1987, 24 years old, Killeen, Texas, fighting pimps, demons, welterweight champion. Let's do it.
Hi, welcome to the Humble Abode. Humble Commode? Yeah, Humble Commode. I'm sorry, Humble Commode. Why would you say that? Well, I don't know actually. Why? Well, maybe Holly can explain it better. Holly, wait, come back.
Speaking of trees and stuff, and anybody might want to buy one of those?
How much? Yeah, I'd love to buy one, but my old lady would kill me. How much you want?
All right, so Mr. Punisher is getting asked while hanging out at Steve Kramer's house, that's the gentleman that was sitting in the chair, if he'd be willing to buy a gun, and he'd love to, but his old lady would kill him if he had a gun. This is Von Helton, 1987, when he claims he was the Punisher, working black ops for the government. That's why Von Helton hates this video. Now, one thing that this video could prove, folks, is that Von Helton is in fact a time traveler. Because if this video is in fact in 1977, as he claims, we've got a big issue with that Pepsi bottle that you see on the table. We got a big problem. And this is where it all come down to. Oh, geez, let me get some. First of all, what's our little slideshow here? I'm going to bring this over. I hope you guys can see it. Should be able to see it all. Maximize it here. Oh, of course, it's tiny. Let's bring this up. Now, I know this is hard to see for you guys. I got better graphics coming up here. But these are bottles from 1977, 78, when he claims the video was taking place. Now, I also went in and proved that like consumer camcorders, like the one that was actually used to shoot that, weren't even invented or weren't on the market, until 1983. I also had the testimony of the person who actually shot the video, who gave this to me. The voice you hear at the beginning tell me that this was the late 80s. But all that aside, it comes down to the bottle. Now, the reason I'm showing, it's not the bottle itself, it's the logo, and not the logo itself, it's the font. So in the late 70s, Pepsi switched to this logo, which they did keep until 1991. So if we went just on the logo itself, would it be possible? We're not even getting into when they started using the plastic bottles and stuff versus glass. We're just looking at the logo. The logo itself, yes, it's possible that in 1977 they had that logo, but there's more to the story. How do I move ahead to the next one here? Oh, fuck it. We'll do it this way. Okay, I'll just bring it over. Technology. All right, so this is a series of logos throughout the years. This is what you'll typically find if you go like over to Wikipedia or something like that, right? And we see in 1973 they switched that logo. So the 1977, it is possible, and they don't show another logo change until 1991, and that is very true. But look back to 1962, 1973, and then 1991, look at the actual font. Now, it's a little bit deceiving in this this picture here, because in 1973 they're not actually showing the accurate font of the letters that was used. The font that you see in 1962 was used until 1987. And we actually confirmed this. Someone, like, as I mentioned, was helping me back in the day. And we actually got a hold of the Pepsi Corporation. And they confirmed. Now, here's the picture of the bottle. And you'll notice especially the E. Look at the E, okay? Now, here in 1971, 73-ish, notice that the E, the S especially, is much different from 1987 to 1991, where they went with a more rounded, as it says right here. Pepsi logo, 1970 to 87. In 1987, the font was modified slightly to a more rounded version, which was used until 1991. The logo was also used for Pepsi Throwback in 2010. Folks, when we compare the Pepsi bottle on the table to this information, we see it does not have the hard-edged E and the S that is found in the font from the 60s. But instead, we have a match from a bottle, the logo, the font, from 1987. Folks, unless it's true that Von Helton is an actual time traveler, this video could not have been produced pre-1987. This video had to have been shot between 1987 and 1991. Von would have been about 24 years old in this. According to Von, not only did he time travel back to 1977 with a plastic Pepsi bottle with font only found after post 1977 or 1987, he also brought back a VHS camcorder to the 70s. And this all before he would have been a graduate of high school. So according to Vaughn, he's only about 15 in this. They're sitting around smoking, talking about buying guns, drinking Pepsi from a bottle that wasn't invented until 1987. Folks, this is where I really pwned Von Helton. This is back in the day when I used to actually do research and facts and all that kind of stuff. And that is what really butthurt Von Helton. Now, Von Helton came up with a theory back then that I must be a Canadian transplant. I was not Canadian at all, in fact. I was this guy that went to high school with him named David Sandlin. And he even went so far to call me out to prove that I was Canadian. I showed you the video where I actually proved I was Canadian, and he kept moving the goalpost and was dumbfounded. But here's the call-out video. Folks, stick around. We're getting to the new found footage. It is going to blow your mind, but let's keep moving ahead. There is a method to my madness here. This all comes back around. Anyways.
I say you're a transplant from America. You insist that you're a Canadian citizen. All right, fine. Prove it. Put Canadian flags in your goddamn video somewhere, anywhere, on your computer screen, in the background behind you, whatever the fuck you got to do. But I want you to show your Canadian pride, motherfucker. Because if you don't, I'm going to insist you're a transplant from America. Now that seems fair, right? That seems fair to you? Yeah, he pregnant with a bucket of chicken. He'd been to KFC one too many times, right? Hey, get this son of a bitch. He'll actually diss me for the way I look. He has in the past. He hasn't here recently, but in the past, he actually dissed me for the way. I mean, look at this shit, man. Look at this motherfucking shit. All right. Secular opinion, when you get like this, motherfucker, where you're a fucking rock like me, then you can fucking talk shit, all right? Until then, you can't say jack shit to me, motherfucker. Okay, lose about 50 fucking pounds, and then you can come see me, all right? You son of a bitch. I work out almost every day. And then with chasing after 3 kids, I sure as fuck get a workout over that shit. Okay, so you ain't got no room to fucking talk, motherfucker. Lose your fucking weight. Put a Canadian flag in your fucking videos and show some goddamn pride. Okay? Until then, you ain't shit, motherfucker. But anyway, I wanted to bring that up because, like I said, I just saw in the news where a guy had to go to court because he put up an American flag. An American put up an American flag in his yard. Wow. You know, what fucking bizarre world do we fucking live in, man? I mean, what'd you miss? There was a guy, I just saw it in, there was a guy tried to put a flagpole in his yard, and city ordinance came down on him, and he had to go to court over it and shit, and he won his court case. He had to take it all the way to the state level, but he won his fucking court case. Hey, you fucking trolls, you fucking haters. Where's your flags? Where's your flags in your videos? Why ain't you showing some patriotic pride, you motherfuckers? Oh, that's right, because you're fucking criminals. You ain't got no pride in nothing. So quit spamming my fucking page. Quit coming in here talking shit. Now, if I see an American flag or a Swedish flag or a Canadian flag in your fucking video, then we can talk, right? But until then, you ain't got shit to say to me. All right? You ain't got jack shit to say to me. I mean, I've got scores of videos with a big-ass American flag behind my head, and I can prove that shit. All right? So I don't want to hear no shit, man. It's a bunch of crap. That's right. I got me a flag. I like I said, I went and bought me a brand fucking new one. The old one had been used so many times that it literally became shredded. Okay? That's my fucking American pride. I used my flag so much that it literally became shredded. I used it so much, okay? Putting it out, putting it back, putting it out, putting it, you know, over the years. Okay? So, you know, I'm, you know, open challenge to secular fat fuck opinion, who to this day still will not reveal his real name because he's a fucking coward. Here's my real name, James Paul Von Helton. I'm out here. I'm alive. My real face, my real voice. But yet he won't give it. He claims he's not. He claims he's not David Sandlin from Hamilton, Ohio. Okay, fine. What is your real name, secular opinion? I'm give out my real name every day. What's your real name, secular opinion? Oh, that's right. You're too big of a coward to tell us who you are.
By the way, just a little FYI, back in the day, I found the real David Sandlin that he went to high school with. He was a divorced 40-something-year-old truck driver from Ohio who would have basically made a grease spot out of Vaughn. And I actually had all the videos of Vaughn talking shit about David Sandlin, talking about putting his stuff up on gay sites and stuff because he thought it was me, right? And I was going to send it all as a nice little package to this guy. I'm going to say, remember your school buddy? This is what I don't know what he's got to burr up his ass about you, but I was going to do that, and I didn't. Good times.
That's right. No Canadian pride. Too big of a coward to tell us who you are. Okay, so I'm calling you out, secular opinion. I'm calling you on your own fucking bullshit. You want to get on internet video, shall we say, and call me out on my various mistakes and whatever the fuck I'm doing. Okay, fine. Let's know who you are. Tell us who you are, motherfucker. Because if you can't tell people who you are, your credibility means zero. Okay, your words mean absolutely nothing if you aren't willing to back them up with who you are and where you live and who you care about and what your pride is about. You know, show some Canadian pride, for fuck's sake. You know. And for the record, I do have Canadians that are on my friends list and who do show Canadian pride, by the way. Okay, just saying. Okay, so you can't say, well, there ain't nobody out there showing a Canadian flag or a Canadian shirt or whatever. Bullshit. I got people on my own friends list show that shit, man. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. My wife doesn't say that, you Mosfa. You're talking about secular opinion's girlfriend. That's who you're talking about. Welcome back, Irish. Like I said, I challenge you, Secular Opinion, you fat motherfucker. If you're going to get on YouTube and talk shit about me, let's have your real name, your real address, your real phone number. Let's see a fucking Canadian flag. You know, put yourself out there. If you're gonna sit there and lambaste me, somebody who is open and transparent, I use my real name. Everybody until recently knew my real address and real phone number. Of course, I've changed that shit. But my point is that I'm real, okay? I use my real shit. So I challenge you, Secular Opinion. Stop calling yourself Secular Opinion. Start calling yourself your real name. I still insist you're David Sandlin from Hamilton, Ohio. You know why? Because you won't give us your real name. And you to this date have never shown any type of Canadian pride whatsoever. Canadians just had a holiday not too long ago, Secular Opinion. You never even mentioned it in your fucking videos. Why is that, Secular Opinion? Could it be because you really are David Sandlin from Hamilton, Ohio? Could it really be because you are not a Canadian citizen? Canadians just celebrated a holiday a while back. And you didn't even mention the motherfucker in your video, Secular Opinion. Why is that? I'll tell you why, because I don't think you're a fucking Canadian, that's why. Prove me wrong, Secular Opinion. Show up on your next video with your real name and a Canadian flag somewhere. Show me. Prove me wrong, fucker. You can't.
So just so we're all clear, he's making wild accusations based solely on his random speculation, just completely arbitrary, based on things I don't put in my videos.
Can't do it. I challenge you, you fat fuck. You can't do it, can you? You can get on here and talk shit about Von Helton because Von Helton uses his real name, is a patriotic American, shows his fucking flag, you know, all this good shit. So you can sit there and talk shit about me, but then you can't do the same thing in return. I call hypocrisy on that. Hypocrisy. That is your name, Secular Opinion. Hypocrisy. You think him and Loves to Dance are dating? Oh my fucking God. That's a marriage made in hell. That's a marriage made in hell. A chick that gets drunk on cam and while her kid's unattended in the background. Yeah, Loves to Dance. Don't worry. CPS will be contacting you, bitch. Want to sit there and talk shit about my wife and her almost dying? Fuck you, you whore. I'll get your fucking kids taken away next. Since you called CPS on me, I'm going to do the same thing on you, bitch. As soon as I get your fucking docs, your kids are gone. And then you can spend a year and a half in court getting your kids back. Only this time you won't get your kids back because I got video of your sorry ass drunk on cam while your fucking kids are unattended in the background. And I guarantee CPS will get a copy of that motherfucker. Now you want to talk shit? Let's talk shit. All right. You want to talk smack about Von Helton? Okay, fine. We'll talk smack about you, you fucking drunk whore. Sitting there, admitted live on Von TV, folks, that she goes to bars and whores around. Admitted to it live on Von TV. And you can bet somebody's got a big copy of that shit. You can bet on it. You can bet on it. And when that shit fucking hits CPS, your kids are gone, bitch. Your kids are gone. Sitting there talking shit about me and her drunk on cam with her fucking kid unattended. Bullshit.
Oh, the irony.
People keep stealing your flag off the front door. Well, holy fuck, man. Staple that son of a bitch, you know? Staple that son of a bitch. Well, the reason I brought this up, folks, is first of all because I bought a brand new American flag. Still in the plastic. Comes with the pole, comes with the eagle, a whole 9 yards. And the other reason I brought it up is because there was a man in the news I just read the other day. I don't have the link, but there was a man in the news the other day that planted a flagpole in his front yard and got in trouble with the city and had to go to court over it and shit. Had to go all the way to the state court. But when he got to the state court, bam, he won and got to keep his flag. The Secular Opinion on Bond TV? I don't know. I don't know, and I don't care. I don't know if he is, nor do I care if he is. I that's immaterial to me. But I tell you, You know, notice, folks, I'm serious. Go back and check his own fucking videos. Nowhere is there a Canadian flag. He's never discussed any Canadian holidays that I'm aware of. That, like I said, Canada just had a fucking holiday here a while back. Secular Opinion never even brought it up. He never even mentioned it. I'm telling you, he's not Canadian. Because if he would have been Canadian, every now and then a Canadian will wear a Canadian t-shirt, right? I've never seen him wear one. Have you? Prove me wrong, folks. Give me a link. Give me a link. I know you fucking trolls are watching me. Give me a fucking link showing Secular Opinion wearing a Canadian t-shirt. Go ahead. I dare you. Show me the fucking link, because I watched all of his fucking hate videos. He's never wore a Canadian t-shirt, ever. Never. I defy you to prove me wrong. I'm telling you, he's a fucking transplant. He was David Sandlin in Hamilton, Ohio. That's how he got access to all my personal shit from years and years ago, because he used to be one of my friends. Sadly. He's not Canadian. He's American from Hamilton, Ohio. David Sandlin. But he keeps denying it. But yet, here we have somebody who keeps denying he's a transplant from America, but yet he has no Canadian flag ever. He never talks about Canadian holidays. He's never, in fact, he doesn't discuss Canada at all. He doesn't discuss Canada at all, ever. Show me a video. I defy you, trolls. I defy you right now. Here's your chance to pwn the great Von Helden. Show me a fucking video where Secular Opinion talks about Canada Day. Anything. Anything at all. Canadian shipping. Canadian restaurants. Anything. There's nothing in his videos about Canada. Now, why is that? Could it be because he's not a fucking Canadian? Duh! I defy you. I defy you, motherfuckers. I defy any of you. Show me something where Secular Opinion's talking about Canadian holidays. Or his alleged country of birth, Canada. He has no Canadian flag in the background of any kind. Nothing. He's never worn a shirt that says, I love Canada. You know, I mean, most Canadians will at least every once in a while wear a t-shirt lauding their country. You know, I mean, look at me, man. Look at here. Look here. These colors don't run, motherfucker. All right? These colors don't run. Yeah, God bless America, except for the Obamas and their bullcrap. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Folks.
Absolutely. And by the way, the president...
What I was showing you a picture of was the infamous and wily Kentucky long-tailed, weak-dicked weasel.
Ain't America. We're America. Fuck Obama and his asshole friends. His communist friends, I might add. Communists. Oh, but an admitted friends with a terrorist. That Weather Underground dude. Bill Ayers. Yeah, there we go. Bill Ayers. Friends with a terrorist, but yet we put him in the White House? The fuck, man? Friends with a fucking terrorist, and we put him in the White House. Where the fuck was the DNC at? What, did they have their head up their ass?
So anyways, you get the point. And I actually featured this one of the Hangouts. Maybe we'll do it another day. But I actually did answer Von Helden. It took him 6 parts to get through the video. If you remember, where I show him everything I can't remember, from maple syrup to flags in my neighbor's yards. And long story short, I proved that I was Canadian. And part of that, of course, I raised awareness for the Kentucky long-tailed weak-dicked weasel, which he didn't. I made a response video, and the fucker flagged it down. That's how Von Helden operates. He challenged me with this video. I made a video showing that I was Canadian, and the fucker flagged it down because I put that picture of the fucking weasel up. But anyways, here's the video after I proved I was Canadian.
All you get, folks. He never come out with his real name like I do all the time. I come out with my real name, James Paul Von Helden. Here I am. I'm real. I'm not a fake like Secular Opinion. I'm real. Okay? But see, he can't do that because he's not real. He's not even Canadian. He's a fucking transplant. He's a fucking transplant, and he possibly I don't know for sure, obviously, but he's possibly David Sandlin, somebody I used to know when I lived back in Hamilton, Ohio. Okay? How else did he get all those old videos of me, folks? Think. Use your brain. Okay? The only way he's going to get old videos of me is if he really is David Sandlin, because nobody's going to cough up their own video. Nobody's going to do that. Why? Why would they do it? What's in it for them? You know? So is he David Sandlin from Hamilton, Ohio? Quite possibly he is. I can't prove it, obviously, because the fucker won't give us his real name. You know, and if he isn't David Sandlin, why do you say, I'm not David Sandlin, my first name is blah? He could have just given us his first name. He didn't even do that because he's a fucking coward. He's a fucking fake. He's a fraud. He's not even a real Canadian, folks. He's not even a real Canadian. So he's a fraud. And anybody that listens to a fraud is what? Believing a lie, aren't they? Yeah. If you're listening to a fraud, you're believing a lie. And believing what he says, you're believing a lie. Do I like MacGyver? Of course I like MacGyver. It's a great show. But yeah, I mean, how hard would it be, folks, for a Canadian to put on a Canadian t-shirt? How hard would that be? Come on. I mean, you know, holy shit. You know, Canada don't have t-shirts with a fucking red maple leaf on them nowhere? Nowhere in Canada there's a t-shirt with a red maple leaf on it? Give me a break. Come on. Give me a fucking break. $5, go to Walmart, get a fucking t-shirt with a Canadian, with a red maple leaf on it, put the shit on, get on fucking YouTube and put out a quick video saying, yes, I am a Canadian. I do love my country. I'm not a transplant from the United States. I am a Canadian. I do love my country. Here's my t-shirt. Here's my flag. Here's my Canadian holiday I like the best. No. He can't. No, he didn't do none of that. All he did was replay what I said here on Bond TV, and then under the video it says LOL. That's it. That's all you got, folks. That's all you got. He didn't give a reply because he's a fucking coward, and he's not even real. He's not even a real Canadian. Just like I told you. How else did he get those videos of me when I was 16, 17 years old? How the fuck would he get them? The only way he could get he's going to call up somebody in Hamilton, Ohio? Yeah, I'm Secular Opinion here in Canada, and I'm wanting video on a man in Ohio when he was 17.
So as I explained, they actually reached out to me, and you notice he slipped that in there. He's 16. No, he was 24 years old in that video. Folks, it's impossible. The facts are there. The Pepsi bottle betrayed him. It's just that basic.
You know what most people would do? Click. Okay? You know, it's like, who the fuck are you? You know, nobody gives a shit. So, no, he has to be David Sandlin. I can't prove that, obviously, but he has to be. Because how else did he get video of me at 17 years old? That's the only way he could have. It's the only way he could have. It's the only way he could have. But yeah, he's a fucking fraud. He's a fucking fraud. See, that's another thing. If that Secular Opinion is only in his 30s, he's not. And my friend, my ex-friend David Sandlin would be in his 50s. He wouldn't turn over the video anyway, right? Why would a 50-year-old give a 30-year-old anything? I mean, come on. Have you tried to go get your 50-year-old uncle to give you something? Yeah, it's like pulling teeth, ain't it? Yeah, I know. Isn't that nice? Southern Raven cursed me and my family. Hey, Southern Raven, I'm a pagan. You know what that means? I believe in the threefold law. Whatever you do to me, bitch, comes back on you 3 times. Sucks to be you. Sucks to be you. I'm telling you, Secular Opinion had the opportunity to reply to my challenge and say, yes, I am a Canadian. Here's my Canadian t-shirt. Here's my Canadian flag. Here's a Canadian holiday I prefer. He never said none of that. All he did was replay what I said here on Bond TV, and at the bottom in the comments it says LOL. That's it. That's all you got from him. No real name. No I love Canada, no Canadian holiday, no flag, no t-shirt, no nothing.
So I actually got to correct myself. I thought this was a different video. Apparently this is in between videos. So I did respond to him, but I didn't make the one with like showing my neighbor's yard and all that bullshit till after this. So this, I haven't made the final video where I just fucking hammer him and completely prove I'm Canadian. Which we've seen that. So this is actually, I haven't seen this in years. This is interesting. I haven't seen this since I probably captured it. Or whoever, obviously it was uploaded by somebody else and I grabbed it, but this is interesting. Folks, don't go anywhere. I see those numbers fluctuating. I don't care about numbers. I'm not monetized. It doesn't matter about that. And actually, if the hardcores are here, that's who we want. I see everybody out there. You're not going to be disappointed with this clip. This is the preamble. This is the main show is coming up. It's coming up. Listen. You're not going to want to go anywhere. Anyways, let's finish this out and get to it.
No, nothing. Nothing. Because he's a coward. He's a fake. He's a fraud. I told you that man was not Canadian, and I called him out, and he didn't even do anything. He's a fraud, folks. He's a fraud. And anybody that listens to him is an idiot. I called him out openly, and he didn't do shit. Say, wait a minute. Southern Raven stopped attacking me. No, she didn't. She put a curse on me and my family. That we all be dead. She put a death curse on us. We've got everything on Southern Raven. We've got everything on Southern Raven. And so do the police and the authorities. Like I said, there's going to be a knock on her door from Florida police. And she better have her ducks in a row, because if she don't, she's going to jail.
For putting a curse on Von Helton on YouTube. Like, really.
What do I think of the Muslims that chopped off the guy's head in London? I think they all ought to be publicly hung. That's what I think. Bring back the public hangings. Hang them in the fucking Times Square for the whole world to see. Do it. Make it happen.
What should we do with child abusers,
Stop
Vaughn?
overnight if you brought back public hangings.
What should we do with people that hurt children?
Bet you'd stop overnight. Well, Vaughn, that's barbaric. Yeah, so? Don't you think chopping off somebody's head's barbaric? These people only understand barbarism. That's all they understand. They live in a 7th century ideology. Okay, they have a 7th century mindset. They don't understand modern times. Not at all. They're living in the 7th century, for fuck's sake. So you need to treat them as they would treat you. Well, what are they going to do? They're running around chopping people's heads off, right? Hang them in the fucking public square for the whole world to see. You know, prove that Europe still has government. Hang them in the public square for all to see. Let everybody see it. So, yeah, Obama won't hang no Muslim because he is a Muslim. That's right. Yeah, actually, he wants to bring 80,000 now and 100,000 every year for the next 10 years. Well, that's 1,800,000, isn't it? 100,000 a year for the next 10 years, isn't that 1,800,000, or am I wrong on that? Somebody help me out. I suck at math. Isn't that 1,800,000? 10 years at 100,000, and then 1 year at 800,000 or 80,000, excuse me. It'd be, I'm sorry, it's 1,080,000. I'm sorry. Yeah, Obama's a Muslim name. So is Osama. That's correct. And they're both Muslim names. That's quite correct. That's quite correct. But yeah, I tell you what, this jambalaya sure is cleaning my happy ass out, man. I gotta go. I got to go. So let's keep it rolling with the women here. I'm gonna do another song by a woman.
Okay. Folks, the title says it all. The jambalaya. Oh, we are here. We have arrived at our destination, folks. If you've stuck it out, you deserve it. But like I said, there's always a theme. There's been a few things I'm hoping and some of the clips that I've played that you've picked up on. I'm not going to go through every one. Just some reflection, just something you can go back to. Because like I said, hindsight is 2020. Like I said, there's a lot of speculation going on right now with what exactly the situation is at the Von Helton compound. And again, I want to be completely transparent. I have not been harassing family members, asking them questions. I have not, I'm not privy to some kind of inside scoop. I don't know of cameras in bathrooms or fucking hard drives being seized. Hashtag drain Lake Alice. Now, first of all, I want to back up just a little bit and give some context to the whole hard drive thing. Now, I know Von Helton always talks about hard drives in his closet and stuff. That's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about here, now, I know even if you're new and even if you just watched my Hangouts or my live streams, whatever we call them, whatever the kids call them these days, you've seen the clips. We went through the clips. We reviewed the old clips. But you've seen the clips. Actually, even just on the last show where I had Kenny KPZ on, I always play those clips of Von Helton pulling the guns. Come on down, Kenny. Come on down. You know the one I'm talking about. You know. Right? Give me a thumbs up or something. Give me an amen. I don't know. Just give me something out there in the chat so you guys know what I'm talking about. Because I know you know what I'm talking about, right? Come on down, Kenny. Come on down. And he pulls out the guns. You're a pussy, Kenny. You're a pussy. Excuse me. The context of that was on the heels of Von Helton being exposed for the Kelly incident. Right? Which I don't think he really connected Kenny to. He was just mad at Kenny for whatever he's mad at Kenny at. But what's really interesting in the context of that is the person he's talking to, this other weirdo Monograph, which I don't want to get veered off talking about him. But Monograph actually calls him out and says, I think you are of the mindset. And Von Helton, of course, uses the usual excuse. That elbow cuff. Sorry about that, guys. We're live. This is how we do it. But he's talking to Monograph, and he brings up the excuse. He's like, well, Blog TV has cleared me. I have the logs, the usual excuse, right? So Monograph in that video actually says, I will give you the money if it need be to get those logs. I want to see them. If that's what you're saying, I want to see these motherfuckers. Because as it stands right now, I think you are someone of that mindset. That's how he phrases it, right? Whether he did it or not. Because even the people who defend Von on it at one point or another has acknowledged that the fact that it was a 31-year-old man and his wife, or whatever the case may be, that was actually behind the account. Von thought it was a 15-year-old, and that's what actually matters, right? If it had been the police, Von would have been fucked. It would have been a Chris Hansen moment, right? That's the only thing that stopped it from going any farther, was the fact that it wasn't the police, because citizens aren't supposed to engage in those types of operations, right? So that you couldn't use any of that stuff in court. So that's why it was taken to the people's court. That's another thing people don't know. They're like, well, if you thought it was serious, why didn't you take it? I'm going to give you a little background scoop on that, because I know people like background stories, but I'm going to give you my story, because Von Helton's been bringing up, he's taking me to court for my, quote, participation in the Kelly incident. Gather around, kiddies, because we're going to get real here. I'm going to tell you some of the real background shit, because I know that's what a lot of the new people want. They want the background story of people that was there. I was fucking there. So I get contacted by Mr. and Mrs. Anonymous Dick, and they say, look, we've made this account, Kelly 4.4104, whatever the fuck it is, right? And we're going to fuck with Von Helton a little bit. And if you want to use it, you can use it. So they gave me the password to it. It was Mr. and Mrs. Anonymous Dick, myself, and one other person, which they've already come out and said who they are, but I'm not going to do it. That's for them, whatever. I know myself, I logged into it once, never talked to Von Helton with it, never had an interest in using it. Time went on, it was forgotten about. Skip ahead a few weeks. I can't remember if it was a month, 2 months. I mean, we're going back over a decade, right? Mr. and Mrs. Anonymous Dick, I think it was Mrs. Anonymous Dick, but they approached me on Skype and they say, holy fuck, we've had some conversations with Vaughn. It was 4 conversations, if I believe. And we decided in the last couple conversations, we'd start dropping our age to see how interested he would be. And he got very interested. The rest is history. Skip forward to the Come On Down Kenny. And we got Monograph, and Monograph says, if what you're saying is true and those logs have been altered and you can get the real logs, I will actually give you the money, Von Helton, to get those logs and present them and clear yourself. Because as it stands right now, you look really fucking guilty. So fucking Monograph makes a proposal and says, and Vaughn promises to get back to him by the end of the week or something. I can't remember. This is a Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe a Thursday. I don't know. That Friday, Von Helton comes up with a story that he can't give the logs and stuff because wouldn't you know it, his hard drive froze and he had to get rid of it. See, this is very disturbing because in the logs, one of the disturbing things that always stuck with me about it was when he is prompting this Kelly person who he thinks is 15 years old to give him a 13-year-old's nude pics. He assures her that he will not share them, that many people have had confidence in him. I'm kind of paraphrasing a little bit. I should have pulled up the chat log, but the point is I've done this many times before. That was the part that always stuck in my head. And I've known who Von Helton is since Stickam days, before YouTube, before I came over and did YouTube shit at all. And Von always had a rep for flirting with the young girls. In fact, going through the vault, I have a clip, a behind the scenes, forgotten about clip in Stickam of him hanging out with an underage girl. I've been contemplating putting that up on YouTube. That may come. That nothing crazy in it, but just showing his MO. It's the same every time, right? Now, folks, like I said, there's a lot of rumors right now. There's a lot of speculation, but what we know for sure is the kids have been exposed to something. And one of the biggest differences now, as before, and we brought this up in the past, is that the kids are old enough to speak, especially the oldest daughter. Now, again, I don't know what he's done, not done, what they've seen, not seen. It could be as simple as them getting up in the middle of the night for a drink of water and seeing horse vag fucking mods on the TV, which is, right now as I stand, is probably the most reasonable. I would think that if it was something beyond that, they would have rated. They're not going to give Von Helton a chance to throw another hard drive into Lake Alice. They're not going to do that. They would have already kicked in his doors, right? That's how I look at that. But something's going on, and Von Helton always gets out in front of it. We've talked about that before. There's something going on, and definitely there's been the accusation brought up that the children have been exposed to some kind of pornography. What's really interesting, too, is recently in one of Von's Rage videos, he brings up the accusation of him touching the kids. Now, going back in time a little bit. And the reason I'm going through this, folks, is because you're going to hear us mention certain things in videos. And I think, again, hindsight, even for people that's been around a long time, there's stuff only a few of us know. Okay? And when I talk about stuff like when I did the Andrea video and I said I had to edit a lot out, likewise with this clip, there was some graphic details that I had to edit out. One, because YouTube, I don't think, would allow it. But you're going to hear lots of references to the Andrea tape and asking why Vaughn. You'll notice that I brought it up. You know, the famous one where Vaughn pulls me on a Skype call before he's got to go to court, and everyone laughs, and and I keep bringing up, what's on that? What's on that you're so worried about, though? And you go, I just want closure. I just want. You'll hear that in this. You'll hear little things, and we always pepper that in there. And you'll hear in this Skype call between Von Helton, myself, and a few people, I'm pretty quiet in it, actually, for the most part, but except for I kind of rip him a new asshole a couple times. Us refer to certain things, and you're not going to know exactly, but there's certain things that were said and brought up. A little bit of it leaked into the public at the time, but I think got swept under the rug and everyone forgets. See, this isn't the first time these types of accusations have come up. Now, if we go back to when his oldest, I hate talking about his family stuff, but I think it's important, it's relevant. I know we've had some fun, it's been lighthearted, but folks, this is going to get serious here in a second. It's going to get dark in a certain way. There was a time where Ma Helton was concerned because she was looking after the oldest, Layla, when she was 3 years old. Now, someone correct me if I'm wrong, because we're going back quite a few years here. I can't remember if Ma Helton actually contacted the CPS, and that's how it all come up. But Von Helton let it go, let it be known to everyone at the end of one of his Von TV sessions that the mom was concerned about some activities that the little girl was doing. Hey, Paulie. Paulie knows, he was back then. I think you were in on the know. You're not in on this call, but I think you were in on the know. And let's just say it's going to get into a little bit of detail here. I don't even feel comfortable saying it, but the little girl was doing stuff that little girls that age. She knew about stuff that she probably shouldn't have known. And at the time, Von Helton threw it at Andrea. You're going to hear that. Folks, this has sat in the vaults for 6 years. Nobody outside of this phone call or this Skype call has ever heard it. Most of the people, pretty much everybody in this call, except for myself, hasn't heard it since the night it happened. There's rage. There's butthurt. There's going to be butthurt. This is something, folks, that I think Von Helton will be compelled to make a response video to. I am going to upload this separately on my Secular Opinion channel because this is something that should be archived. And for those hardcores, all I have to say for the ending is wait for it. Because you think the evil, what evil did I do? Or what evil have I done? Whatever. If you think goddamn internet, those are classics. This is a new classic. This is a classic, folks. So I think everybody's going to enjoy this. I know I've hyped this up so much. I've tagged in a few recent clips to make this relevant. Like I said, folks.
All you get, folks. He never.
This is raw. So I'm just telling you right now, this is, and even with me editing the stuff out of it, this is still pretty candid and raw. So, yeah, you're going to want to sit down for this. Let's get into it.
In fact, Clay County's own court records state, quote, children should only be removed from the home in an extreme situation as a last resort. But yet I've got people on the internet accusing me of inappropriately touching my children, don't I, trolls and haters? Yeah. And so what are they doing? Well, they're telling that shit to the school, ain't they? They're telling it to the school. They're telling it to CPS. They're telling it to the police. They're telling that to anybody that'll listen.
You should have never told me that you had kids, dude, or that your sister had kids. That's the worst thing you could have done. Because I will find you. Bet on it.
All right, here I am.
All right, call James in.
I'd stop my goddamn Vaughn live show for this shit.
Okay, just a heads up too, folks. The audio is a little messed. It's panned right and hard left. It's just the way that the Skype recorder I had at the time was. So mine is on one side, my vocals track is on one side, and everybody else is on the other. So I know it's only coming through one speaker, and then all of a sudden I'm yelling through another. I apologize. I didn't have time to edit it, but that's why I hear the audio before I get 10 comments telling me the audio is messed up. But put on your seatbelts, folks. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Another goddamn scam. Tired of the scam, guys. Tired of the bullshit, guys. Tired of the fucking delays, guys. If you've got 2 fucking hours, start playing it.
Well, Vaughn, before we do that, there's something I had a question about. I listened to those tapes, and Andrea said something about you and Layla. You did something, and that really.
Let me stop. Okay, stop. Like I said on Vaughn Live, in front of everybody, I swore an oath to protect the innocent, the weak, and the infirm. That includes my kids, not just a bunch of strangers' kids. All right.
Remember, he took an oath, folks. Just like he was trained not to pull a gun and wave it in his wife's face. Just like he can't be racist because he's Cherokee. Just like, right? You know what I'm saying. Anyway, sorry.
I would be violating my oath if I did anything to harm a child. Do you understand? Can you understand plain English?
Well, I understand, Vaughn, but I was just wondering.
All right, well, then it's bullshit, right? Then it's bullshit.
That's not what Andrea said, though, on the tape.
Listen. Andrea has been brainwashed, okay? And when people are brainwashed, they are susceptible to saying any fucking thing. Anything. Even the most crazy shit you ever heard.
But
okay?
You did also say that Layla was, simulating masturbation or something.
Here's the thing, okay? Here's what my mother told me.
What's the deal with the end of your hangout the other night, man?
What?
The end of your hangout the other night. You said something about...
My girlfriend called. Didn't you hear the call just as it ended? That beep, 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 that was my girlfriend calling me.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that, though. I'm talking about when you were talking about your daughter. What was up with that?
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say before y'all rudely interrupted my ass.
Well, go ahead. I just got here.
Goddamn! Let me explain.
Hey, relax, man.
My mother told me that she caught Layla maybe doing something inappropriate. She never elaborated what that was to me, and I really don't know.
Where do you think she'd have picked something like that up from, Vaughn?
You think it could be my wife cyber-sexing all fucking night and my daughter just happened to wake up and my daughter just... Shut up! And my daughter just happened to wake up and catch her doing it? Do you think that might have been it? That she caught my daughter caught her cyber-sexing with you sick motherfuckers on Facebook? Do you think maybe that was it? Do you think maybe that was it?
Vaughn, I'm asking you that for a reason. Now, why do you want to hear what's on the rest of that fucking tape so bad?
I need closure.
I think that you're worried.
Until I
think that you're concerned.
Just play the unedited tape. 2 hours. 2.5.
The thing is, I already put you in your chat there. We're a little concerned because there's some accusations that are not very
I don't
nice.
give a damn about her accusations to me. I just want you to play the motherfucking tape.
What are you worried about?
You're not going to do it. This is all a fucking scam to get me to shut down my Vaughn show. That's all it is. It's another fucking
You could be live on Vaughn right now. We don't care about that. We don't care about your show.
Well, then play the motherfucker. Stop stalling and just play it.
Okay, so someone like I have got a question here. Like,
basically like I'm 50-50. Yeah, I don't particularly think Von's a paedophile, but like, why would anyone be a paedophile, Von? Gee.
Huh?
Why would anyone be a paedophile? It doesn't make sense to me.
Well, it doesn't make any sense to me either.
Now, listen to his response here in a second. Listen very fucking carefully to Von Helton's response here in a second. I hate to use the term wait for it, but fucking wait for it.
That's you know, I mean, it does. I can't answer for these sick fucks because it's something to do with their mind. Okay, I think what I think it is that a pedophile in his mind equates a little kid with a teenager or an adult.
With a teenager or an adult. With a teenager or an adult. I'm going to back that up. That's important. Because what he's saying is, oh yeah, pedophiles, they're sick, they're into kids. It's not like it's a teenager or an adult.
What I think it is that a pedophile in his mind equates a little kid with a teenager or an adult. You know, in his mind, it's okay because he's thinking that kid is actually an adult.
Let me ask you something,
Just a small
Don.
child.
I do have a question, if that's okay. I have a question. Now, you said the trolls were fucked up for taking advantage of Andrea because she has a childlike mind. Isn't that correct? You said she has a childlike mind.
Now, before you begin, I didn't know she had a childlike mind until just recently. So fuck you and your attempt to try and twist this against me. It won't work.
I mean, you mean you didn't know it till recently? When did it dawn on you?
She had a childlike mind until Sabrina Quinn informed me just the other fucking day. Okay, so now you can take your spin and stand it right up your ass.
Why would it take you so
No,
long?
I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to say that I took advantage of her, and I never ever took advantage of my wife. I loved my wife. I loved my wife. Until you sick fuckers got involved, I loved my wife. But now I can't love my wife because she's fucking out there talking shit about me. Thanks to you motherfuckers putting shit into her head.
So did you think about telling the authorities about Mouse fapping in front of your child?
I couldn't do it. I got the that shit.
That's very interesting. That's a very important question, because this isn't the first time he's thrown accusations at Andrea to kind of deflect from himself, especially about, physical violence, which I'm not saying that she's innocent of, but also throwing this stuff. Now, just in case you're not following what happened, again, the mother reported while looking after the 3-year-old, she was basically rubbing her genitals and saying things, and she was quite knowledgeable on adult topics of that nature. Again, the original gets a little more graphic of what the accusations are. I'm not going to say them, and I'm not going to do them, and that's why I cut them out. But I'm just saying, you guys get the idea. What bothered me earlier, if you didn't catch it, when Von's like, well, she didn't go into much detail, and he was basically saying he didn't care. And now he's saying that, well, it was because the little kid was exposed to watching Andrea, sexting with all her trolls is where she picked it up. But yet he never called the authorities or never seemed that concerned about it. Isn't that interesting? He never brings it up unless it's shit he can huck at her publicly after the fact. Something's not adding up with the story here, folks. Anyways.
Before we played the tapes here, because this is the thing, James, the whole reason we didn't want to do this in public is because we were trying to be decent. You think we're bad people. You think we're all a bunch of trolls and haters and stuff. I mean, would you like us to make a bunch of videos with Andrea accusing?
Okay, I can talk over you. Just
Okay, it's obvious he's not serious about wanting this. He's keep his mouth shut for 5 minutes.
Just play the goddamn audio.
He won't let anybody talk. I say
Play the
fuck him.
goddamn audio.
I say fuck him.
Play the goddamn audio. See, you ain't fucking with me.
No, the more you fucking carry on, the longer it's going to be.
You get me to leave on live. That's all it is.
Whatever.
It's a fucking ass joke. You ain't got nothing, or you'd have done played the son of a bitch.
I'll keep it up right
You'd have done played the son of a bitch. You ain't got nothing. You're fucking with me.
I say wait till this weekend and fucking play it live.
You've been very rude to secular opinion. I've been watching this stuff
Oh,
for 2 or 3
not this shit again. Okay, look, you ain't got
You've been very rude. You've threatened to have him killed.
You ain't got nothing, or you'd have done played the son of a bitch. You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing. You'd have played it.
He's been the fairest person to you on YouTube. He really has. He's been the most decent person to you.
Oh my God, man! You guys are so fucking sensitive. You guys are so fucking dense. You don't even know what play the fucking.
Oh, we're cool, man. I mean, you
You
heard
don't know
Monica
what
Grass the other night. I'm a good guy.
You
Even
don't
he
know
thinks
what
I'm a
play the
good guy.
fucking tape means. You don't know what play the fucking tape means, apparently.
Well, you what are you talking about? What tape?
You don't even know what play the fucking tape means. Now just play the fucking tape. Unedited,
Which part you want to
unaltered,
hear? Hold
with
on.
no vocalizers. Just play the fucking tape.
Look, there's 2 parts. Which part you want to hear first? The beginning or the end?
God. Oh my
Well,
God.
stop making it 2 parts.
Start at the goddamn beginning where you she first called you, or you first called her.
Let's start. Where do you want to start?
He's gonna sit there and talk over me all fucking night. Just play the fucking raw tape if you got it. If you don't, be nice.
I know you keep getting mad and you keep
I
saying
know you
that we're
keep
gonna.
wanting to call me a fucking pedophile. Well, I'm sorry, I'm not a pedo. I'm not a pedo. I'm not a pedo. I'm not a pedo. I never was a pedo. I've never been a pedo. I arrest pedos. That's what I do. I arrest them. I arrest pedos. I am not a pedo. I'm not a pedo. I'm not a pedo. Vaughn. Now, is it sinking into your fucking head now?
If he's abusing people on the internet, what's he going to do to you eventually? Think about that for a second. Think about that for a second. Folks, what we do in secret is who we really are. What we do in secret is who we really are. So if he's on the internet abusing people, what is he? Who is he? And is he going to do it to you? Maybe. Are you willing to take that chance? Are you willing to take that chance? Yes or no? It's a simple question. If he's on the internet abusing the fuck out of people, what's he going to eventually do to you? Think about that for a second. Think about that for a second. What we do in secret is who we really are, folks. That's who we really are. So think about that for a second. All right.
Folks, no, it wasn't Queen Raven. That wasn't Raven. That was in there. Yeah. So that's the edited version. I think there's a lot of tells in there, folks. And that also gives a little bit of a background to when you hear those old clips of Von Helton begging to hear that tape. I'm talking about certain accusations. Now, remember that the part about his mom and the 3-year-old and the thing she was doing, that isn't an accusation. Like, Vaughn doesn't contest that. That's not Andrea making that shit up. That's fucking real. That fucking kid learned it from somewhere. And look, I actually the other night I wanted to make a hangout dedicated to this, but I'm just going to make a statement now, and I'm saying it before all of you, and you know I'm good on my word with this shit. You know how I feel about enablers. And I know there's a group of people. Look, I get it. And this group of people are soft trolling Vaughn. And they think it's funny. And they think it's like trolling the trolls because they got access to Vaughn and he's kooky and he's weird. And you're fucking enablers to this shit. Again, I don't know about fucking shit getting seized and fucking cameras in the bathroom and in the bedrooms and stuff I've been hearing. I don't know about that. Apparently, we're waiting for something. We'll see. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm not saying it is true. I'm just saying I don't know anything about it. I'm just going on the shit that I fucking know. And it's hitting the fan, folks. Very shortly. This is a desperate man we've been watching. This is a desperate man. We've covered why. But I really hope that there's someone out there, there's people that when you guys watch this, when you listen to that last clip, how important some of those minor points in there, in hindsight to what's going on now, it's a linchpin. It's almost everything is predicated on these events that happened that are being referenced to in this. And we are seeing the effects now. It's important, folks. I think that is an important clip and it should be archived. And like I said, I will put that out as its own standalone video. If you guys want to grab, I mean, obviously you can grab it from here, but I mean, I'll put it out there so people can grab it because I think it's important. That's a heavy clip, folks, and that has not been released ever. This is the first time. I think I'm going to go over to Discord in a bit and hang out for a little bit. I got another treat for everybody, especially if you're new. This was kind of related going back to the Mr. and Mrs. Anonymous dick. This is the night Von Helton got busted for the Kelly incident. This is the night. This was a magical night, and I was able to I was the one that actually captured this. And this motherfucking video went to 5,000 views, like in no time. I forget where it ended at before my channel got taken down. It was this is a heavy one. This is the night that Mr. Anonymous Dick confronted Von Helton.
If it's all recorded, it's gonna be great. If it's all recorded,
I know Von's audio is shit, but that's how it is.
if it's all recorded, then why don't you show the parts where I asked for your legal aid and where I asked for it all to be done legally? Show them parts. Oh, that's right. You can't show those parts of the conversation.
You never asked for a legal
Show the
aid.
parts where I
First,
asked
when
for
I
your
came
aid.
on, I said I was
Yes, I
16
did ask.
years old, about to be 17 in 2 months.
No, you did not.
Then I looked up the age limit on a medication in Louisiana. Shut the fuck up, Baron! First I said I was 17, and first I said I was 16, about to be 17. Then I checked. The emancipation age in Louisiana is 15 years old. Then I said I was 14 years old, about to be 15 in 2 months. Then I asked you if you wanted to see my nude pictures of being 13 years old, as well as my old girlfriend. I was totally nude in the picture. She was just topless. You still wanted it. You still pressed for that shit. You still wanted the goddamn picture of a nude fucking 13-year-old, and it's all fucking there. I'm going to spread you around the internet like a Saigon whore on Christmas. You cocksucking son of a bitch! And show you for the pedophile cocksucking freak you are! You freak-ass wannabe son of a bitch! You are a 47-year-old pedophile bitch who preys on children.
I'm not a pedophile.
You want to be punished?
Sorry.
Congratulations.
No, actually,
because my shit will never
here's the
go away. Never.
Here's the thing you don't understand. All right. Here's the thing you don't understand. I have helped young children in the past who were abused by parents, who were abused by foster care.
Oh,
see, you don't know that.
Ooh, you help people. Ooh, really? Okay, you know what, motherfucker? That's what you just said about Kelly.
Yeah,
That's what you just said, motherfucker, about Kelly, bitch. That she was being molested or abused by her parents. No. Everything's fucking recorded, dumbass. She grew up in fucking foster home.
Leave him up.
That's the story I went with. She didn't have
No, leave him
parents.
up.
Because I know
Leave
that's
him
the
up.
type of people you prey on. You prey on people that don't have good
The
relationships
foster
with their
care,
parents,
the
or
foster
don't
care
have
abuses
fucking parents.
children, you
And you
moron.
loved it too that Kelly had $50,000 and you thought you were going to get that shit too.
No, I did not.
See, you keep trying to backtrack, backpedal all that motherfucking shit.
No, this is
You
not
know what?
anonymous
Deep
dick.
down, you know,
This
you're
is not
fucking
anonymous
busted.
dick.
And guess what? You got busted
No,
by
I'm not
anonymous
busted for
dick.
shit.
You just got fucked in the
I did
ass by anonymous dick. I'm not anonymous dick. Who the fuck do you think I am,
No, I did
dumbass?
not.
Seriously, who the fuck do you think I am? Am
Why
I
you
George
keep
Bush
saying
Jr.?
you ain't?
Is this fake? Is your fake?
You kept saying you ain't anonymous dick. You kept
You
saying you
dumbass
ain't anonymous
retard.
dick.
And meanwhile, yeah, you're just going on your beard, your little whispery shit-ass beard. You can't grow shit, man. There's fucking 7th grade Mexicans that can grow a fucking better beard than you can. Well, congratulations, everyone. Yes, Von Helton is a pedophile. And all that information will be coming to you soon on YouTube.
Now, this is a very telling thing, and this is a big tell for Von Helton. Whenever he gets really cornered about something, he gets up and takes a drink. Part that I edited out of the last Skype call you heard is when he was getting pushed about certain accusations with whatever. He gets up and takes a drink, goes for a drink, and leaves it leaves it empty for a while. And he does this. You'll see them do this in other old videos. Think about this. There's a guy on your blog TV ranting and screaming that just caught you soliciting pictures of a naked 13-year-old and calling you out for being a pedophile. And instead of blocking him in shock, you just get up and walk away and let the guy run your blog TV show. Think about that.
It's going to be great. It's going to be lovely. Stay tuned. It's going to be lovely. Stay tuned. So much fun. Oh, and if people want to say it's all bullshit and it's my word against theirs, do you realize when we go trolling together, there's like 6 to 8 people on fucking Skype together. I'll record everything. You've been trolled. You've been trolled. Fun. Wanted nude pictures of a 13-year-old girl. 13-year-old girl. How can you people even stand by a dumbass like this? Seriously. It took me fucking 3 conversations barely talking to him. Want mine to underage pictures. All the fucking girls are out there that probably sent him pictures. Oh, and he hinted to it in the point of videos. Got shit like that before. Got shit like that before? Oh, but he never spreads it, right? So, questions from the group, since Lil Von wanted to run away, and he's probably trying to call the cops saying, oh no, somebody's trolling me, please come help. So, any questions? Let's go.
No, Mr. Anonymous Dick. Mr. Anonymous Dick. Okay, here's the way this is going to go down. All right, and this is exactly the way it's going to go down. If you do not remove the videos, if you do not stop
the way it's going to go down,
I will sue you.
You don't give me
I will
the
sue you for harassment.
You.
Do you understand me?
I will not.
Hey, no, you shut the fuck up. You're getting
not remove the fucking videos.
I am going to
multiply
arrest
the
you
videos.
for harassment.
They will multiply 5
Yeah, and you're going to jail for harassment,
over
motherfucker.
and over.
You just admitted you planned this whole thing. You just admitted you planned the whole fucking thing. You're going to jail for harassment. You're going to jail for harassment. You just admitted live on video that you planned this whole fucking thing. You're going to jail for harassment, motherfucker.
You're going to jail for harassment. You admitted to it. You admitted you planned this whole thing. You're going to jail, motherfucker. I'm calling my fucking attorney. You're going to jail. And if you don't think YouTube won't cough up your location, your name, and everything to my attorney, you're wrong. Really? Where are you going to find an attorney for a fucking $1.50? Where? Really? I mean, come on. Haven't you ever heard of pro bono, you dumb son of a bitch? Hey! Hey, you dumb son of a bitch! Google the term pro bono. Google the term pro bono, you dumb son of a bitch. I got trolled on the internet and exposed as a pedophile. Please be my attorney. Oh, that's gonna work. That's gonna work. Yeah, it'll work when you're sitting in jail for harassment, dumbass. You're gone. Bye. You're gone. Bye. You're gone. See ya. You're going to jail, motherfucker. I've had enough of your shit. You're going to fucking jail. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of you motherfuckers. You're going to fucking jail. I'm done with your shit. I am done. I am done with you motherfuckers. You're going to fucking jail. I'm done with you motherfuckers. You're going to jail. I am calling an attorney. I will get an attorney pro bono, and you're all going to fucking jail. Every goddamn one of you. I have logged your chats. I have logged your comments. I have logged the videos. You're all going to fucking jail. I'm done with this bullshit. I'm done with it. And if you don't think I mean business, you don't know me very well. Yeah, it was all set up, Poison. It was all a setup by Anonymous Dick. But do you know what the bitch is? Anonymous Dick got his wife involved in this shit. He got his wife involved. He said right here, my wife and I closed the account down. Never thought we'd be back this soon. But the truth had to come out. Freedom of speech, my ass. That ain't freedom of speech, that's harassment.
Look at him pull at those chin hairs. It's kind of like a fucking cat's tail twitching. Yeah, folks, it looks like, history repeats itself. The Vaughn cycle has come full circle. But I don't know. This might be the last era of Vaughn. It's going to be interesting how it all plays out. But until then, folks, I want to thank everyone for coming out, watching the show. Glad I could share that with you again. I will be putting that up on the Secular Opinion channel as a standalone video if anybody wants to grab it. And of course, you can always cut it out of here, I guess, but I'll just put it up without any commentary. And I will continue to clean out the vaults, folks. I got lots more shit that I got to sift through. I found a bunch of Stickam and blog TVs, just like hours of it. So we'll see what I can dig out. You never know what is in there. But I thought it was important to share, especially given the context of what's going on these days. So I think you're going to see everything kind of relate. It's all going to come full circle. But as far as that goes, I am cutting out. I'm going to go over to Discord here in a few minutes. If anybody wants to chit chat for a little bit. And everybody else, bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye.